Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. It is time. Finally, after talking for so long about what DMZ is here in MW2, today we got the official gameplay reveal. A bunch of different streamers were flown out to LA to Infinity Ward to actually play DMZ and play an updated version of Warzone 2. Either later today or early tomorrow, we're going to go over all the new changes for Warzone 2 gameplay. But today, because we have yet to see DMZ gameplay, I wanted to focus on this first and foremost. Before we go in and actually watch, I believe Symphony Play is who I'm going to be looking at here for some gameplay. I wanted to show you guys a few things from the menus. So this is actually what you see when you load into a menu here. This is from Chris or Swag's stream. And when you go into the DMZ menu, you've got your lobby where you'll ready up with your squad. You've got your operator. You can go through and choose who you want to play as, but then you've got your weapons tab as well. And here's where things are pretty interesting. So you can see up here in the top left, obviously it's a bit blurry, but you've got things like your armor carrier that you can load in with, and you can actually find upgraded armor carriers in game. And if you end up extracting with that, you'll have that to equip to load in. So for instance, everyone here at this event spawned in with a tier 1 armor carrier, which just allowed for 1 plate. Some people were able to find those 2-plate armor carriers or those 3-plate armor carriers, and I'm pretty sure they're mowing outside, so I apologize if you hear background noise here, but you can find those and loot those, and if you live and extract, you'll have that in your menu to go through. Same deal with the gas mask. You can find streaks and self-revives and have those ready for future games as well. Now, you have a small backpack here, and that's just to start things off. Again, if you find a large backpack, you can end up having that for your future games. And these keys here, you'll notice as we start to see some gameplay with Symphony that you find them by looting, by killing AI, by looting other players, and you'll use these to access things like strongholds on the map, which are where some of the high value and high tier loot is. And then you have your basic loadout set up with things like your primary and your secondary, your tactical and your lethal on there as well with stuns and semtexes, and you can use a field upgrade too. So it's a little bit more of a bare bones class setup because it relies more on what you've found and what you've earned in game to use in your future endeavors, which I think is a really cool dynamic. Also, shout out to Hannah. She was looking at the menu here when she was playing, and you can see you have your insured slot for your weapons here, which is what you can choose out of your contraband stash. And for instance, the players had on their accounts a couple of different contraband weapons already available in the EBR, the M4, the MP7, so they could use these weapons right away and throw them on their loadouts. But if you use these and die, you might not have them for the future trials. You also have various other insured slots as well. Complete tier 3 of every faction and you'll get another insured slot. And the faction challenges are basically the various missions and objectives you have to go in and actually play. So when it comes to actual gameplay, we got Symphony here. I'll leave a link to his Twitch down below if you're not following Symphony. I mean, I'm not sure what you're doing. Man's a beast at everything he touches. But you can see here we get an early look at what the looting is going to be like here within DMZ as they're going through. There's things like this duffel bag that are on the desk here. There's also various things hanging off the walls you can loot through. There's fridges you can loot through, actual like boxes and crates you can look through. You can see you've got your backpack inventory system here with your current currency. You've got your ammo supply. You've got your other various objects you've picked up, things that you can actually sell. You can see anything here that's got that $sign on it, that price tag on it, you can end up selling in a buy station and getting some cash back. And you can see in the cash here, there's things like this picture of a woman that are mainly going to be used to either sell so you can get some quick cash, or for certain missions you might need something like that. And there's also various other things here. You can see you got the full loadout there with all the weapons that they had to loot and find actually, and then like your armor and whatnot there as well. You can see you can loot different caches there. There's different challenges there for looting a certain amount of caches, for discovering certain areas. You can see there's a very big bot presence in this mode. Like, yes, there are plenty of other actual real players, but bots are something that you're always going to be engaging with. Anytime you're doing objectives here, and as we stop on the minimap, this is the perfect time to explain. Whenever you're going through, you can see these bigger icons here that are like the chess pieces almost. Those are the strongholds. You need keys to actually go ahead and get into those. They're locked by default. If you get that stronghold key, you can go through and get the loot in there. But every time you do one of those, all these different green contracts here, those are bounties. Those are certain things where you're planting bombs and detonating those. There's different nuke icons here. Even whenever you start to do those, you are going to get a bot presence near you. They're going to come in on a chopper and start attacking you, and sometimes those bots are very easy. They're very simple to take out. You'll see as we skim through here with this gameplay, some of them are super easy to take out. Some have armor and become a lot more difficult. And it seemed like as the games were going on, the bots were becoming more and more advanced. And as you do higher, risk contracts and whatnot, if you're going after high value targets or you're in an extraction zone or stuff like that, the bots become more advanced. And you can see Sim actually gets taken out by a bot here. So it's not like these are just clueless AI walking around the map, not doing anything. they're actually, you know, competent in a way you could say. Now, Sim doesn't get full killed here. You can just go through and it's just like Warzone. You can end up getting revived here. But you can see they're just in a general area looting, and that's where the bot presence was sort of activated there. That could happen as you're just strolling through a random, you know, building looking for stuff. It could happen while you're doing an actual event. And also, for what it's worth, they show up on the map like with UAVs just as players would as well. So you're going to have that ability to differentiate bot movement versus player movement, or if players are disguising themselves as bots, which I'm sure some might. That's going to be something to take into consideration in actual gameplay. Now, if we continue to skim through here, it's a lot of looting. It's a lot of basic stuff like that. I want to get to the part here, though, where they actually do come across another squad, because we get our first look at PvP engagement in DMZ. You guys can see they're trying to go towards this stronghold that they have pinged on the map here. You'll also notice in the top left under the minimap, there is a countdown timer. That is actually a countdown timer to the radiation in the zone starting. Now here, Symphony runs into an actual player, takes him out. It's just like Warzone with the knock system. They go down, you got to get that full finish. Then Sim actually goes down and gets full finished as well. He gets knocked out. You can see though, his team doesn't. Jericho is still alive, and he's actually able to go over to Symphony's body and just straight up revive him here. Even though Symphony got full finished and was taken out of his knock, he is still able to actually come back into the match here, and you're able to continue playing so long as your squad stays up, right? If you end up getting fully taken out, then that happens. By the way, as we are going through all this, if you guys are new to the channel, every single day I got you covered with the latest going on between MW2, Warzone 2, and DMZ. All the information, all the updates, all the tips you guys need to know is right here. Around 54% of viewers watching are not already subscribed, and we're super close to 900,000 subs. Would be insane. It's a lofty goal, but it would be insane if we could get as close as possible to that by the time Warzone 2 and DMZ launch. So if you're new here, you want to stay up to date, feel free to hit that sub button. Also, if you guys enjoyed the video, let me know by dropping a like on it as well. But you guys can see here, this is what it actually looks like when you are looting a player. You can see Taylor Morgan was taken out by Symphony, and you got the entire body bag here, the loot bag, where you have their guns, their cash, their equipment, anything else you might have on your persons is going to show up in your body bag, and it can be taken off of you there. And with that, any high value loot you have could be traded out. Any weapons, anything like that is gone. And that's where you can then stash it into your backpack. Now, again, Symphony has a small backpack. He's only got 5 slots here. You can get a larger backpack and have more than that to carry. So if someone has a ton of valuable stuff on that, you're going to have to be, you know, conscious of your space and really take what matters the most to you. And I mean, it's a pretty basic body bag loot system, similar to what we've seen before in Blackout. Now you'll notice as they approach the stronghold here, this chopper is dropping off bots so that they are actually sort of protecting the stronghold, if you will. Now these bots, relatively simple. They're nothing too crazy because they haven't actually activated the stronghold yet for this. But now Symphony's going to drop down. They're going to try and go inside, and you'll see the stronghold is locked because they don't have a stronghold key. But then later on in a second match that they played, Symphony and his squad end up finding a stronghold key now. And you guys can see on the map here, they're approaching this now stronghold marked building that's towards the back of, I think this is Turok actually from multiplayer and from Ground War. And you can see they have a key now that can go up to this front door, unlock the stronghold. That gives you some XP, and you can actually access this now because you have that stronghold key. That's also something though you can sell in a buy station to end up getting money out of that and end up you know, stocking up a little bit if you're not planning on going through and actually going for a stronghold. You can see though here there's some higher tier loot, there's some actual weapons, some decent equipment as well. Not necessarily something you'd be able to find anywhere else. There's also apparently a bunch of food and stuff in here. Again, things that all have those price tags on them that you can go into the buy station and sell. And that's exactly what they're going to do here. They're going to run around for a bit, shoot some more bots here, but they're going to make their way towards a buy station actually. Now you can see here when they go into the buy station, they have the ability to buy contraband, sell contraband. These are all the weapons, obviously. Symphony's got 18K and something like an EBR, which is their, as we saw in the menu, the contraband loot. $33,000 to buy this god tier EBR fully kitted out. $11,000 for a cast-off that's got 3 attachments. You know, only $3,000 for a mini bok, but it only has 1 attachment on there. So that cash is going to be a big factor in whether or not you actually have decent guns here in the buy station. So if you find things like that, they're worth a lot. You can also go through and buy other things as a general buy station. You can end up getting a stronghold key from here, an armor vest. You can get an actual vehicle with a turret, even an advanced UAV for $12,000, which ultimately could be the difference maker in whether you win a match and extract or, you know, end up getting taken out because you didn't have that information on the radar. So buy stations in this game are valuable, not only for, you know, getting the gear that you want, but you can stock up on cash and actually extract with that for the future. And then the last thing I wanted to show you guys is basically just what the Exfil is like here. They ended up hanging out until this happened in game just after the first zone of radiation here. You can see it's basically you find this Exfil chopper. You can somehow sit outside of it and actually end up exfilling here. And you'll notice Symphony's got that cast-off on him, the 7.62 variant, I believe. He's got the sniper on him. He's got a bunch of other equipment stuff. And as they start to exfil here, you'll notice that towards the end, they're going to end up getting to keep all of this. There's actually masks available in the chopper as well, so you could pick up one of those. That's a quick gimme as you, are exiting the match here. If we skim forward just a little bit, successful exfil, obviously. They won the match, and there can be multiple winners because multiple people can exfil, and you end up keeping your backpack and keeping your inventory here. He has the Stronghold keys, which he'll now have in his inventory. He got the gas mask, the 74U, or whatever the cast-off variant was there, and then his sniper as well. So that's like the end goal here, alongside going through and actually completing the various missions to, gain XP, to gain intel, unlock certain things that you can then use in the future. So that's our first quick look at DMZ. We are going to learn more about this in the future, and as we get new details, and obviously with the launch next week, we got a ton of different stuff to cover. So if you're new here, feel free to hit that subscribe button, join us on the road to 900K. And if you guys enjoyed the video, let me know by dropping a like on it as well. That's gonna wrap things up for this one. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.